All right, well, thank you for being here. Welcome to day 2 of Pandemonium 2018. Just by quick show of hands, who is from California attending the conference? Or West Coast, I should say. So thank you for being here at a 5:30 a.m. start. That's pretty impressive. Very impressive. And then on the other hand, I woke up like 20 minutes ago, and so my team over here is freaking out because I'm supposed to be on stage. I'm just waking up. But anyways, great to be here with you guys. Again, we have prepared some good content, some good speakers for the day. And again, really the whole idea of this is to try to provide value and to have discussions about how we can walk away with ideas about how to create awesome experiences and products for our customers. Also, just hope that everybody had a good time last night. I'm gonna have to let this simmer for a minute. I don't know what's going on. In fact, actually, we prepare our slides, and then I wake up this morning and I open it up, and this slide's in there, and I'm like, clearly we had a good time last night. But I don't know. I mean, Chaz, I think he nails it clearly in the back right. Anyways, so hopefully everybody had a great time last night. This is the band. This is our rendition of the band. We'll stick to building and selling software for sure. But hope everybody had fun. So. Today, my name is Brian Crofts. I'm the Chief Product Officer of Pendo, and I love my job. My job is to talk to customers, talk to our team, to orchestrate a plan about what we build to hopefully help you guys improve your product experiences. And it's both an exciting job and a very rewarding job and a very humbling job. And so the way kind of I think about it, and we've been talking a lot about jobs to be done and being clear about why we hire product and services so that we can build something that's amazing that customers love. And I kind of think about it like this, where here's a product manager, right? And our job is to enable this product manager with things like Pendo tools, right? To enable them to get the insights and the data to be able to take action on it to improve your product so that you look something like this. And I know this slide has been shown before, but the way we look at it is product management or product leaders plus Pendo equals superpowers. And that to me is the ultimate job that we have, which is to build tools that enable you guys to do amazing things. Now, whether it's like saving princesses from evil empires and things like that, or it's getting promoted or just being the star, whatever it is, that is our ultimate job at Pendo, is to help you achieve your goals. So today, this morning, before I turn it over to the product and engineering and design team to demo some of the stuff that we're building, I want to actually take a minute and share a few customer stories about how they're using some of our most recent launches to help improve their product, to help improve their business. And to me, this is the most rewarding part, is to find out how people are using and getting value. At the end of the year, I don't look at my roadmap and evaluate whether I was successful or not by saying, did I accomplish everything on the roadmap? I look at it and say, did I bring value to our customers? And so to hear some of these stories is very rewarding. It's also humbling, saying we've got a long way to go. But it also gets us motivated to work even harder, deliver the value that we hope to bring. So cultivating product love. So today I'm going to talk about three stories with 3 different customers that are using some of our most recent launches around trends, NPS, and mobile. Now mobile is going to be a little different because we're just launching it. So it's more of the aspirations that this team has when using mobile. And then I'm going to turn it over to our product and engineering team to talk about and to demo some of our additional analytics capabilities, our next generation guide authoring and orchestration experience, which we're really excited about. We're also to put a little bit more meat into the product cloud that we've been discussing, to talk about some core integrations that we're going to be building, and really just to set the tone for the integrations to come. And finally, we're going to do a demo on mobile. Now, these demos are going to be 4 to 5 minutes. They're going to be pretty quick. We want you guys to just get a little bit of taste of what we're building. And then these guys will actually be over by the Love I was going to say the love machine, no, but the love sign. They're going to be sitting over there, and they're going to be there so you guys will see who's working on what, and you can talk about with them and give them feedback or ask questions and really help shape what we're building together. So this first story comes with a company called Waypoint. Now, I really love this use case and user story because, like all of us, we have what they refer to, using their words, they had core customers or the core users of their product, meaning that they used all and unlocked all the potential of the platform. And then they had a group of people called casual users who came in and out of the product but were not fully unlocking the full capability of the product. And then they had a segment called cold, and you can imagine what that is. They just didn't use the product that much. And so what this team did is they took trends and they first created the segments, cold, casual, and core. And one of the biggest company's initiatives was how do we move our casual and cold customers to more like core customers. And they were able to understand what types of behaviors the core customers exhibited, so then they could come up with a plan to actually then move these guys into a better usage profile. And so not only were they able to set up these segments and start to understand first the why and the details behind those segments, they were then able to track them over time to see, are we pulling the right levers to improve user performance across all segments? And so again, just one of many ways that we can use trends. Todd and I always refer to trends as this playground where you can come in and ask questions and get answers about a variety of things that are very specialized to your business. And so again, we're still in the early days of trends. We love the idea of it. We're going to keep adding more into it, keep investing, again, so that you can ask questions and get answers. All right, this next one is Sprinklr. So Sprinklr is a company, a fast-growing company that supports half of the Fortune 500 companies with all of their marketing and support and sales through all the social channels like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, things like that. They have a huge job to do. And one of the things that they've used us for, and actually they refer to all data coming out of Pendo, all product data, they just refer it to Pendo data. And everybody in the company knows what Pendo data is. But one of the things that they've really loved and they've been using a bunch in the last several months is this idea of first launching NPS, where it's a very non-intrusive pop-up guide at the bottom of the screen you can see here, where it's stylized to look and feel a little bit more like their application. And so it's non-intrusive. It's a simple question, NPS question, with the ability to capture feedback. And this is all done, of course, using Pendo. But they also really were meticulous about who saw it and how often people saw it. And so before they just launched this, they went through our new wizard so we could ask them questions, the business logic behind the NPS to ensure that they were setting up right and that people were going to get it at the right frequency and it was going to look right. And so they launched it and they were able to get a bunch of insights, but where the real insights came were not just from the score itself, but when they were able to take both the NPS score and match it up against product usage so that they could start to create profiles around what a detractor looked like. So what types of features did the detractors use disproportionately to those who are promoters? And so you can start to get a sense of and feel for why people might be detractors. And on the flip side, why people might be promoters. What does their usage profile look like? And is there anything that we can learn from these different profiles to help those that are detractors? It also allowed them to reach out to those people that were maybe struggling or didn't understand the product in order to boost their NPS. So they've been really happy with the type of analytics and insights they're able to achieve from Sprinklr. So really excited to hear about that. And then this last one is WorkWave. Now WorkWave is really excited about using our mobile application that we're launching. And the idea with WorkWave is, they have, as part of their business, they have a lot of technicians and people out in the field that use mobile devices. And what they've told us is that over the years, these technicians that are using the mobile devices, they have no insight into whether they're using them, whether they like them, or what they can do to improve their mobile devices to use while they're out in the field. And so they're really excited about the idea of being able to have Pendo inside their mobile app so that they can understand what people are using, to understand the sentiment, and to get feedback. And they believe that as they install Pendo on their mobile apps, that they're going to get insights that they've never had before. And I think, more importantly, I think what this highlights is something that Todd was talking about yesterday, is that, the debate about mobile first or mobile, that's all done. It's really now about being able to support multi-platform, that we all have apps that are on the web or on mobile, and we need to make sure we understand how people are using them, and we need to understand what the user sentiment is, and we need to do all the jobs to be done that we've talked about and been able to do on the web, now on mobile. So really, really excited to listen to these stories. There was a lot that came in. We had to just pick a couple of them. If you have stories, both ones that are good or bad, please find me today, and I'd love to hear about them. It's the thing that really connects the dots for me about why we exist, and also humbling from the standpoint of we have a lot more work to do, and that really inspires me and the product team to work even harder to bring you guys value. So with that said, I'm going to turn the time over to some product demos. And again, for me, this is the more exciting part to really see what our teams are working on so that you guys can connect with us and give us feedback. Because we're investing a lot of time and energy into these features that we feel really passionate about. So as the teams come up, they're going to share a brief why behind what we're working on, why we're doing this, why we've chosen to invest in this part of the application. And then they'll go through and do the demos. And like I said, the idea for our product and engineering and design teams to do the demos is that you know exactly who's working on it, so you can go find them and tell them they're way off or they're right on, or that you would love to be involved in user testing and giving feedback. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Julie and Ryan, who will be talking about some of our new analytics capabilities.
Great. So today, Ryan and I are going to demo for you a couple of our new features that have launched in the last few weeks and months. So what you're looking at here is the dashboard in Pendo. We have two dashboards in this demo environment, a dashboard dedicated to NPS and one to a new feature launch. So let's say a new PM has just launched a feature called the Insights Builder. This is a tool that extends functionality to all users of her Acme application to build dynamic reporting. It's newly refreshed, something that existed before but is revisited and now available to all. So for this launch, she went ahead and she made sure that she set a goal for the launch. It was 150 visitors are using this application in the first 90 days of the launch. And she wanted to make sure that we were meeting this goal, tracking against it. But unfortunately, as you can see today, we're only 45% to goal. 67 visitors of the 150 are actually using this tool, and there's only 9 days remaining. So she wants to dig in. She visits the trends of the Pendo instance to actually compare multiple segments and see specific page activity, in this case the Insights Builder page. And she's going to look at the usage of this Insight Builder page for multiple segments. In this case, the admin segment. They have been using this tool in the past before it was refreshed. She got a lot of good feedback and knows that they were using it before, so wants to confirm that. She'll also check against her non-admin users to see if they're adopting as expected. She wants to set the date range to actually look at the time since that feature launch on January 1st. And since this is a product that's typically interacted with on a weekly basis, she'll switch the frequency to weekly. Now the data is starting to take shape, but as is the case in many applications, there are a lot more non-admins than admins. So number of visitors isn't quite the right metric for her here. She switches to % of visitors to understand the relative usage between these two groups, and starts to get confirmation in the data that something is off. In fact, admins are still using it as they had been, so between 80 and 100% of the time that they're visiting the Acme app, they're interacting with this feature. But the users, the non-admins, are still not quite using it enough, only 40 to 50% of the time. She's going to save this insight, make sure that she's keeping track of it on her dashboard so that she can see how changes affect it in the future. But for now, what she really needs to do is be able to take some action. Saving it to the dashboard, great. So her dashboard is taking good shape. She digs in a little bit more into the details of the goal to understand what was going on there. You know, she sees something curious. There was a good growth in the number of visitors who are actually using this tool in the first week of it being launched, but after that, it sort of plateaued. After discussing with her team, she found out, marketing campaigns that were publicizing this event or this tool had actually ceased after that first week. She realizes that there's probably not enough information generated to these users to inform them that this tool exists and exists for them now. With this data, they're able to make the decision to put an in-app tooltip pointing people to the Insights Builder tab. They're able to set a What's New guide and really get people involved with using this part of the product. And flash forward, I'll skip the details, but the numbers shoot up, which is great. They meet their initial adoption goal, and they've succeeded there, but it doesn't really end there. What they need to do is actually measure retention. So she's going to add another goal. This time, an ongoing goal. So we're not looking at meeting a specific number by a specific deadline, but we're looking at measuring retention and recurring use of this product over time. So she wants to stay narrow and focused, look at the non-admins to make sure that they're continuing to adopt this product as new users come in. And she's going to, again, set a weekly goal of number of visitors and aggressively around 25. So she'll be monitoring this on a regular basis, put it on her dashboard, and make sure that it's available so that her team can continue to tweak and make adjustments so that more and more people find value. So through this demo, I really just wanted to show that goals keeps product teams really focused. Setting them up in the first place allows people to ensure that they're getting the right outcome. The outcome being that customers who are intended to get value and use out of this product are seeing that value. Trends, as we saw, showed us the ability to compare a couple of different types of users, identify where there's opportunity to improve the product experience for those different groups. And finally, we took some action. So the action we took in this was to set up a guide and indicate to users increased discoverability of this tool. So I'm going to hand it over to Adrian and Kelsey, who are going to talk more about the enhanced guide authoring experience. Cool. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Adrian.
I'm Kelsey.
We're product designers here at Pendo. Today we're going to share with you a sneak peek of our redesigned guides experience. So why are we doing this? Well, we've actually heard a lot of great feedback from you, whether that was through NPS survey responses or conversations with the product team or through your CSM. And our goal is to make it easier and faster for anyone to create a guide, no code required. We also want you to feel confident that you're launching the right guide to the right group of people at the right time. So while this is currently in development, we're actually going to share an Envision Prototype so you can see the full experience.
Okay, so we're going to walk you through a simple guide creation for maybe a guide for a new feature where it hasn't had a ton of adoption yet. So here I am on my guides list page. I'm going to create a new guide and select to have that on my web app. From here, I can select from a series of layouts that include both Pendo out-of-the-box layouts that I've been able to customize or layouts that I've built on my own. So we're just going to select the simple text light box. And now that the guide has been created, we are on the guide details page in Pendo. So I get an overview of the layout I just selected, and I can also edit things such as my segment or activation. So I want to add some content to this guide and adjust the styling, so I'm going to go in-app to do that. Now I'm on my app with the Pendo UI on top. So from here, I can interact with the guide directly by hovering over it and add from a series of building blocks. These blocks include things such as text, buttons, polls, and even a code block in case you still want to add elements that way. So I'm going to go ahead and select a button. And without any code required, I have a button rendered in my app, or on my guide. So from here, I can adjust the content for this button. I can set a click-through action, and also do any styling. So I can adjust the background color. We're going to go ahead and make it Pendo pink. So while I'm building this guide, I decided maybe I want to do a follow-up to this and make this a two-step walkthrough. So from here in the in-app designer, at any time, I can add a step. I'm going to add a poll. So was my guide helpful? And since I picked a layout, I don't need to make any other adjustments, and I can go ahead and save this. Now we're back here in Pendo, and I can get a good overview of the step that I just added and review my walkthrough. And I can do any final tweaks to my segment or activation before I'm ready to publish live. So I'm going to go ahead and publish and do one final check that this is going to the accurate segment that you want your guide to publish live to. And we publish. Cool. So now we're going to pass it over to Breck and Adam, and they will talk about integrations.
Cool. So about 9 months ago, here at Pendo, we released a customized version of our Guide Center. And that Guide Center highlighted some unique functionality related to surfacing of contextual knowledge base articles, as well as the ability to submit tickets. The response from you guys was super, super positive, except for the minor detail where we didn't have the ability to allow you guys in a no-code, easy to set up configuration so that you guys can deliver the same type of experiences and functionality to your end users. With that being said, I'm very excited to show you guys what's behind me, which is what we're calling our integration hub. With the upcoming release of our integration hub, you guys will be able to, in a very easy, just as simple as a few little clicks, go ahead and configure and deploy these, any number of our 20+ integrations to your end users. So for this demo, we're actually going to show you guys what it looks like to configure a Zendesk knowledge base. And that Zendesk knowledge base that we're going to hook into today is actually Slack's. So Slack has a public knowledge base that we're going to use for the demo. So we're going to go ahead and add the configuration. And hope it saves. There we go. And then you'll have an opportunity in a staging environment to either continue editing or to publish those settings to your production environment. So we'll go ahead and publish. And that's it. So it was that easy to, out of the box, go ahead and set up a knowledge base integration delivered to your end users. Now we're going to hop over and show you what that end user experience looks like. So a couple of things to highlight on this page is that you guys will notice that at the very bottom there's live chat and help center. Both of those seamlessly integrate with the existing Guide Center sections that you already have in your product. So they're going to inherit the same styling. They're going to inherit the interactions and animations that you guys already have in there. So we'll toggle into Help Center now and show you guys what that looks like. Another thing to highlight here is that these suggested articles are contextual based on the area of the product that the user is in. So we allow you guys to do a little bit of configuration on how those suggested articles are determined. And then we'll go ahead and show you guys what an actual article looks like. So a user can come in here and search for what they need help with. Out of the box, we will render it with some default styles, all of which are overridable by you guys. And then there are a couple of unique features. In our existing Guide Center, it's very difficult to see images, so we've added the ability to overlay images larger on the screen to help users be able to see those things. And then another unique feature that people really, really enjoy is the ability to open that article in a web-based version. So if you have a lot of content that's hard to digest in a small window, we're going to give each user the ability to open that full web version of the article in a new tab. And that's a good example of our new integrations that are upcoming. And now I'm going to hand it over to Jordana and Shannon to talk about mobile.
Hello, I'm Shannon. This is Jordana. We're going to chat about mobile. So probably many of you know that 6 months or so ago, we acquired a company called Insert. And Insert does what Pendo's been doing. Whereas Pendo's been doing analytics and guides for the web, Insert does the same thing for native mobile applications. Over the past 6 months or so, that team and a team here in Raleigh has been working to integrate these solutions and build a great mobile solution here. So the setup is easy. It's an SDK install in an iOS or Android device. And then tagging pages and features is similar to how you do it on the web, where it's sort of point and click easy. So you'd pair your app on your device with your Pendo account. And then you go ahead and just point and click, as Jordana is showing you here. So again, point and click easy. Go ahead and set up your mobile application. Once it's set up, you can go over to the Pages page, for example, and start seeing that data flowing into your Pendo account. So what we're seeing here is a new column called the App column, and we're actually seeing multiple apps flowing into Pendo. So with this mobile integration, we have this idea of a lot of different apps coming into your same multiple subscription. Here we see multiple iOS apps, an Android app, and a web app, all flowing in together. You'll also see at the top we have what we call an app chooser. This app chooser will let you sort of slice and dice your data by a given app, or you could say, for example, all my web apps or all my mobile apps. So a great way to sort of see what you're looking for or see it all at one time. If we jump over to visitors, here we'll show you one more analytics view of this mobile data flowing in. So this graph with multiple different colors is showing you different apps, sort of the usage over time. So green is your an iOS app, black is a different iOS app, orange is an Android app. And you can click and sort of filter those in and out to, again, just see what you're looking for. So these are just a couple examples of the mobile data flowing into the Pendo system. We actually have it sprinkled all over the product. So throughout the product, you'll see mobile data where you need to see it. So the last thing we want to talk about here is mobile guides, sort of the other half of the equation, of course. When you go into mobile guides, the first thing you'll see is a guide list, which should look familiar to any of you who've used Pendo's web guides. If you go ahead and click in to create a new one, you'll see what we call the mobile catalog. So there's just tons and tons of different guide types that you can create. Again, for those of you who are used to the web version of Pendo, you'll see a lot of their ones that are familiar: in-app messaging for feature launches, tool tips, walkthroughs, and the like. But let's dive into some of the ones that are a bit more mobile-centric, as they're a little bit more interesting in this context. So the first one we'll look at is Rate App. So this one allows you to encourage your end users to rate your application, and that rating is the classic sort of Apple or Android store rating that goes to the store and helps people feel comfortable about your app. But because these are built on sort of the Pendo-style segments, you can segment this guide to only show to certain people. So for example, just show this guide to people that you feel are more likely going to give you a positive rating, right? So yeah, really powerful way to sort of target this guide just to the people that you think will work well for. The last one we'll show you is we have an encourage upgrade and a mandatory upgrade. So for those of you who are PMs working on native mobile apps, you're familiar with this annoying issue where you have people using very old versions of your iOS app or your Android app. And so what this does is it pops up a guide. Again, you can target it just to people, for example, who are using an older version. Say, hey, please upgrade their app, or you have to upgrade this app, and get them upgrading to the newest version. So those are just a couple examples of all the lots of different types of mobile apps guides we've got going. This stuff is, in fact, live now. We'd love to talk to you more about it. Afterwards, come talk to Jordana or myself, or I think Will and Dustin are probably in the audience as well, other Pendozers who can talk your ear off on this stuff. So without further ado, let me hand it back over to Brian.
Well, thanks, team. And like I said, the product team and the design team and the engineers have been working really hard and working with customers, users like you, to come up with something we hope is very, very delightful. And like I said, these guys will be over there by the love section and can get feedback and work with you guys. You can even maybe skip a session and work directly with us. But really credit to the team for everything that they've been doing.